Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Invasion, excuse me, week 24, day 1. So, of course, today, or throughout this entire week, we have quite a few things going on. The most present one, of course, is the invasion that's going on, and that is not where invasions are located, but that's a bunch of other stuff. As far as invasions, we are restricted down to Mystics this week. However, we have a pretty decent invasion troop. It doesn't have skull reduction, unfortunately, which invasion troops are generally pretty good to have on, though, of course, you can buy potions up to the point where you do have some amount. However, we do have the double stat reduction on it. It has a new wording for a mechanic. I believe this was the first time, both on the troop itself as well as on the epic that we end up getting, or well, the troop itself, I meant the glory troop, but it ends up giving a double eliminate. What eliminate is it's basically stat reduction. For whatever reason, they want to call it eliminate now rather than a stat reduction. Why, I do not know. They like want to give like multiple terms, like at least 2 it feels like, to every single possible thing. It's really strange, but yeah, all eliminate means is stat reduction, just in one word rather than 2. Not sure why they want to add another term, but this was actually added the most recent patch, if I'm not mistaken. And this was the first time its wording has ever been used on actual cards, is with the Glory Troop and this troop right here. But all that basically means is it reduces the stats of 2 random skills. So I don't know if they could both be the same skill. I'm pretty sure the answer is no. However, I haven't used it yet. Actually, I haven't even upgraded them yet. Still need to go do that. I've been a bit busy today, so I haven't been able to. But definitely need to go do that. So let's go do that. Let's go upgrade him, get him ready for actual invasions. Maybe even buy another pack. We'll see. And go from there. So we're obviously going to be upgrading him up to Mythic. Probably build a team that just uses 1 of him for now. Also, we end up getting blue deeds today, which is pretty nice. You're most likely going to want to use that on Stormheim. The faction in 2 months is going to be Stormheim. So if you haven't already used them in that location, you might want to consider it. Because, or if you haven't used any blues in a location yet, you probably want to consider Stormheim. I put mine into Merlantis so far. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to be switching over to Stormheim or not. It really depends how many blue deeds we get between now and 2 months from now on if I'm going to switch to Stormheim or not. But anyways, get this guy maxed. Get him all the way. And now we could use them pretty decently for invasions with his 5x multiplier. Keep in mind, you only do that in late game and end game. You might see me doing it like every single time. If you're in early game or mid game, you should never actually be upgrading him, or any of the raids or invasion troops for that matter. It's just not needed. But since we have everything in the game maxed, we also Karkaroff finally easy 10 plus stars. It's finally at 12 stars now. So that's something else that ended up happening this week. There's several other things that end up happening, or that will be happening. Tuesday is a Warrens event, which is somewhat noteworthy. Well, at least for me. I'm pretty sure most people aren't going to really bother with it much. But, excuse me, wow. Why am I burping so much today? I just finished eating, which is why. Gosh, sorry about that. Anyways, this is Wednesday. Wait, did the stream really go down for a second? Really? What is this stream doing? We literally just started. But anyways, faction event tomorrow. I am going to be grinding this for several hours tomorrow. We're going to be doing level 500 peer faction for Warrens. Pretty sure most people aren't going to bother doing that, so we should make a pretty hefty leaderboard. Probably make top 10, because I don't think too many people will contest it, because there's really no specific reason to go do Warrens next week. I just decided to do Warrens next week, so we'll be doing that. Or by next week, I mean tomorrow. Literally in less than 7 hours from now. Wednesday pet, not really too relevant, just a little bit of a Guild War bonus thing. Thursday we have Sorcerer Hero class. Currently is one of the most irrelevant hero classes in the game, or one of the weakest. It still has the best first trait of any hero class, however that's pretty irrelevant these days. And this Friday we're not only getting a new mythic, but we're also getting a new faction. We'll be able to see there on Wednesday, or past Wednesday, up until the point of it being released. It's going to be a Divinian Fields one. So if you have any yellow laying around, you might want to put that into Divinian Fields if you haven't determined a yellow yet. Yeah, as far as upcoming factions, you're going to want to put yellow into Divinian Fields and blue into Stormheim if you haven't already dedicated those 2 colors to a different location. Because those 2 are going to be associated to the next 2 factions. Divinian Fields this Friday and Stormheim 2 months from now. The reason I'm not mentioning the one from 1 month to now is this Glacial Peaks. And if I'm not mistaken, Glacial Peaks is blue. And because it's the same color as, as Stormheim, it's much better to use it for Stormheim. Stormheim is way better than Glacial Peaks. Plus, you'll have a whole another month to accumulate blue scrolls. So, that's pretty much the game plan. Yellow into Divinian Fields if you haven't allocated them, and blue into Stormheim if you haven't allocated them. That's the next faction this Friday, and that's the faction 2 months from now. And we got more blue scrolls today. I believe these were blues, right? Yeah, they were blue. 6 blue scrolls and Imperial. But anyways, let's go get the other troop upgraded. Because I don't think I did that yet either. Easy way to tell is see if it actually lets us buy up. Yep, okay, it does. So we haven't bought it yet. So go buy this guy to Mythic. Because if you already upgraded it, fun fact, if you already upgraded it, it'll go all the way to 200. Notice when I click that button now, it goes all the way to 200. Whereas if you haven't already gotten the copies to upgrade it, it'll show it to the next rarity. But fun fact, if anyone didn't know. But yeah, you just have to click those arrows and it goes to the next level. But you can easily check to see if you already have it by seeing if it goes all the way to 200. And if it goes all the way to 200, that means you already have all the copies to get it to max ascension of Mythic. Otherwise, it would bring it up to the amount that you need to get your next ascension. Yeah, hello, everyone. Hello, William. Hello, Clarence. Hello, Tom. Hello, Steve. Hello, Gustavo. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Churros. Hello, Wow. Hello, The Krill. Hello, Rune with, oh, how do you say that? Casers? Hello, Key Lime. Hello, Larry. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, Captain. I know the wording on stuff's getting super confusing. They're putting like 2 or 3 terms on every single related mechanic. It's really weird. They called it remove. Remove on what? Remove and destroy are 2 completely different things, though, do keep in mind. As well as explode. All 3 of those are slightly different. Like, those are different wordings that actually mean something different. However, they keep doing some different wordings that mean the exact same thing, which is weird. Like, different wording that does something different makes sense. But different wording that does the exact same thing is pretty pointless. I'm not sure why they do it. I guess just to have better terminology for the game. But they should really have like a little dictionary thing in the game. Like I know some RPGs and stuff have that, where they have like a whole dictionary thing within the game itself of what the terms actually mean. Like the commonly used terms within the game. Gems of War still doesn't have something like that, oddly enough. I meant to do a video on it a while back, but they should really dedicate an actual like proper thing in the game itself for it. I know quite a few games have it. I'm not sure if it's that common of a thing these days in the current gaming industry. But it's something they should consider. I think the main reason why they haven't done it is if they do something like that, they'd probably have to translate it into 1.5 billion languages, because they would have to make sure it's in every single language in the game. So that's probably the biggest thing that's preventing them from doing that. Because if they only had to do it for English, they'd probably have already done it by now. Hello, Corn. Hello, Supplement. Can you show the Guild War stats? Guild War and registrate clicking? Sure, I can go show that after in a second. Hello, Pliskin. Let's see. Hello, Drock. Any other hellos or questions? The Stormheim has the better Pure Kingdom teams. Oh yeah, Pure Kingdom definitely is better in Stormheim. Merlantis still has a benefit though. I personally use a pure or almost pure Merlantis team for Blue Guild War, and it runs pretty decently. However, other than that, I don't really use it much because there's not really much other instances to use it where it would be optimal. Has anyone asked for a larger backlog for guild chat? What do you mean by that? Oh yes, guild chat. Yes, there's been a lot of suggestions for guild chat that they haven't done. They've made some improvements on it. The biggest issue that has always happened with chat in this game is it was something that they kind of rushed out initially, and then they had to fix and completely overhaul. And then with all the extra time that they had to do to fix and overhaul it, they haven't been able to make too many improvements to it over time. That's something that likely will get tweaks into the future. However, I don't think it's one of their bigger priorities at the moment, because they already have been making some tweaks to it. But it's still a little bit underwhelming, but it is what it is. Why most people use Discord and stuff. I still use the in-game chat, but I know how frustrating it is that it doesn't have that big of a draw distance. You can end up filling up the entire chat within like 5 minutes if you have multiple people in the guild talking. The draw distance on it is very, very low. I think it's under 50 messages. I forget the exact amount. It might be based on a number of lines rather than number of messages, actually. But it is really short how short the draw distance is for guild chat. I believe even global chat has a longer draw distance. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. Let's see. Question. Will the Grey King be in event chess Friday, or should he save those keys? No, he will not be in event keys. He will only be in Glory Gem Guild and VIP chess, which is every key except gold keys and event keys. Event keys are always just whatever the event kingdom is. So this week it is the event of Karkaroff. So that means Karkaroff troops will be within the event key drop table, and that includes this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Do keep in mind there is one exception to Karkaroff. Karkaroff does not have Zugoff in the event key drop table, and that's mainly because he's supposed to be a special troop that you can only ever craft through Soulforge. The only mythic you would end up being able to get from the event key drop table all week, including when the other mythic launches, is Vosh Dagon, that one useless thing that they still haven't bothered buffing yet. Let's see. Hello, Original. Welcome. Hello, Kevin. Anyways, any other hellos? A lot of people. But thank you, everyone. Well, let's go and build team. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Oh, start overriding all these teams. Let's see. Wait, what are we building a team for right now, anyways? We've been in this game for so long. I'm pretty sure we're building for the Mystic event, right? Aren't all these Mystics? No, wait, where are we right now? Oh, we're just in a normal screen. Well, let's go to the... Oh, I was just upgrading them. I know what I was doing. Let me go upgrade the other troop. I didn't bother doing that yet. Where's Karkaroff? Let me go do that, get the other one upgraded. I'm not sure we get another straw on it. I don't think we do. We're about to find out. Where is the Karkaroff? How many K Kingdoms? We have 3 K Kingdoms. Take the Karkaroff. Go and get this thing upgraded already. I sent him to max. Only 1 spare copy, though we're never going to be using him, so that's perfectly fine. I don't need to multi-copy him. Sometimes if a troop is like semi-okay, I'll get like multiple copies beyond the 1 mythic. But it's not going to be worth it for this guy, as well as in most cases. Won't really be that viable. But anyways, that's him upgraded. Is that another star? It is! 13-star Karkaroff. Never mind. I guess it does go to 13-star. Nice. What's it blocked out by now? Just needing another troop, obviously. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, next order of business. Let's go build team for invasion. So this should be pretty straightforward. However, for the earlier battles, I'm probably just going to run a Rush Dawnbringer. Or something similar to that. Maybe even a Dragon Soul loop. Dragon Soul is a mystic. Let's see. What are our options? Options. Apothecary, nice. Aquaticus, nice. Azura, nice. Who else? Graveseer could be situationally good. Who else? Who's useful? This gives enchant to all mystics, if I'm not mistaken. Never mind, it barriers all mystics. That's not as useful. Oh, Queen Zachi. Really? Oh yeah, she is mystic. I completely forgot about that. Queen Zachi is a mystic. That is very useful. That is actually insanely useful. You know what? We're gonna run a really weird team. They're not gonna have Submerge. Let me grab that. Let me get a Queen Zachi, Mountain Crusher, and who covers the green-blue gap other than that one useless mythic that I just saw? The Queen of Sin. Aquaticus, perfect. Boom, there's our team. Okay, we got our team. Well, I know what I'm using. At least for the initial battles. And we just set any hero class we need EXP for. There we go. There's our early game battles. Until we get deeper into Delves and we need to build a real team. But for the earlier ones, that'll be perfectly fine. Actually, we could probably run that the whole time. Isn't the new troop red-purple? If the new troop is red-purple, we could just run him over Dragon Soul once we switch. No, he's not red-purple. Wait, what color was he? That was the new troop that was red-purple that I was confusing him with. He's green-purple. There's no 1-to-1 that we can overwrite, unfortunately. Well, I guess I could get kind of Queen Zachi out the way. A little bit weird. We'll see. But anyways, for now, for the earlier battles, this will be fine. Let me go upgrade, what class do we want? I guess Oracle. Start getting Oracle a little bit higher. We'll give ourselves some kind of double brown banner. Actually, quite literally, double brown's probably fine. Where's double brown? There it is. Boom. Okay, we're good to go. And let's go level Oracle while going through the earlier battles. You activated a pet? Nice. Well, we'll find out what pet that is in a second as soon as this battle is finished. Thanks for that. Grab that, get our explosion. Hopefully get one of our mana generators going. And just start going crazy with that. And you know what? We could probably almost run this all the way to the end. Probably up to at least 3 towers. Oh, Mushroom. I believe I needed 1 more copy of that. I forget if I still needed a copy. Do we need a copy of this? No, we've maxed it. However, I still need the pet food. We'll do it in a little bit. I'm not going to do it immediately. I'll likely remember. I hope I do. When I go do the dailies of dungeons, I'll remember. Because we're not doing all of invasions right now. We're probably just doing to like the mid or later part of 3. Then tomorrow we can get into 4s. Actually, tomorrow we'll be busy doing like the faction. God, so much faction we need to go do tomorrow. Like half my day is pretty much going to be dedicated towards it. Because it's going to take so long. Actually, almost my whole day will be dedicated toward it, other than the morning. Other than the morning, the rest of my day would be like all in invasions tomorrow. I mean, all in delves tomorrow. Yeah, we're definitely ditching the Dragon Soul later. Dragon Soul is really underwhelming for damage. However, it does give souls and does have a decent amount of mana accumulation later in the game. Oh, yeah, I forgot. She doesn't explode when there's no storm. However, in that particular instance, it doesn't matter. Also, Oracle doesn't have a storm? Or do I just not have a storm active? I'm so used to having storm on hero. If not perpetually, at least at start. And normally we would if we were using an optimal hero class. However, right now we are not, because we're trying to farm XP for a different hero class. That was Dragon Soul and Zachi. Actually, I could have probably just killed Zachi. But there we go. Do I have Zugoff? Yes. I have every troop in the game. We have all the things. Is it worth buying this week's $5 weapon? What is the $5 weapon? I can go double check. I'll go check right after this battle. You're using Stormcaller with Zachi? That would work too. You could almost build the exact same team that we used that other week. What am I looking for? I'm looking for shop. $5 weapon. Where's the $5 weapon located these days? Yes. Staff of Madness is one of the best $5 weapons in the entire game. It's one of the only few that is semi-worth it. For whatever reason, if I'm not mistaken, it is currently the only red-purple weapon in the game that has full boost ratio based on its magic. They really nerfed a lot of the other red-purple ones. They did it mostly with Burning Scythe, mainly because Burning Scythe was ridiculously broken at the time. So they ended up making it half effective off of its magic. However, they ended up doing that to some other red-purple weapons after the fact. However, Staff of Madness is such an old weapon that it never got touched with that half reduction. And also because it would have become way too weak if they did. But it's already towards the weaker side. However, of all the $5 weapons, it is one of the more noteworthy ones, so it is worth considering. It's not used that often. I can't even remember the last time I bothered using this thing. However, it might help you on some class battles. It might help you for... I don't know. It's very, very situational when it would come into play. Very rarely would you use it. Since its damage is pretty underwhelming in the current state of the game. But it's not too bad. It can hit around 30s or so. Because, of course, we don't have the other 5 magic currently. But it can hit like the high 20s, 30, and it steals 1 from all skills. Which is pretty much trivial these days. When it was first added, that was really good. These days, kind of average. But of all the $5 only weapons, it is one of the stronger ones. That, Crescendo, and a few others. I did a whole video on the top 10 best a little while back. But, yeah, that's one of them. I personally say it's not that worth it, but if you're already going to bother getting a $5 weapon, it is among one of the better ones that are only available for $5. Of course, technically any weapon could be available for $5, but that's one of the best ones that is only ever available for $5, and by no other methods can you ever obtain it, at least in the current state of the game. And I really hate that they didn't add all of them to Soulforge. Wish they still would have added those to Soulforge and just made them way more expensive. Who knows, they might eventually do it though. They likely divided it like that just to make sure they could still make a little bit more money off of it. Also, speaking about money, has anyone played Mario Kart Tour yet? Gosh, that thing is a crash grab. Also, I heard it has a bigger player base than Pokemon Go's launch, which I found kind of odd. Because I feel like there's a lot less people talking about this game than Pokemon Go. Despite the fact that it has a larger player base, supposedly. At least starting off. I like the concept of it. It just seems way too pay to win. Is Salty previewing the future update? No. Salty is not previewing the future update. Also, did the stream just die again? Okay, we're back. Salty's previewing the update on next week. Today she's going over two things. She's going over this Friday's Mythic, and she's going over what's it called? Friday Mythic and new faction, because she never showed the faction layout last time. You still play Pokemon Go? I know some people that still do on occasion. Yeah, they've been releasing a lot of Pokemon, I mean, not a lot of Pokemon, a lot of mobile games lately in Nintendo, or affiliated companies to Nintendo. Because they had that other Pokemon game recently, like a month or two back. They had Mario Kart now, and I don't know, it just seems like they're really getting more into mobile. Of course, Fire Emblem for them has been pretty big on mobile. They had Animal Crossing on mobile. They had that Mario Run thing on mobile. They had, what was the other thing? There's one other one. I'm forgetting one. Oh, and Pokemon Go, obviously, duh, on mobile. We'll go for that one for now. Get that down. And just Dragon Soul poke it. Is a Doomed Cauldron worth it to craft? For the most part, no. It's a useless weapon, but you would still get it for completionist purposes. As far as weapons, Doomed Cauldron is useless, but any of these weapons you'd still get for completionist purposes. But Doomed Cauldron as a usable weapon is useless. And that's it. Never mind. Wow, there's only one weapon available? Didn't realize Carecroft has so few. I wonder why I got another weapon. Well, then again, we always get a new weapon on raids and invasion weeks. But that's why they probably did it on a raid and invasion week instead of a Guild War week. But because Guild War weeks don't get new weapons. But and Tower of Doom weeks don't necessarily give the weapon to the kingdom itself. Only the raid and invasion ones normally do. But anyways, yeah. Strange. There is none. Or there's just the one. And it's pretty pointless. Doomed Cauldron is very underwhelming from a usable standpoint. They did make mention that they're likely buffing all of those HP buffing Doom weapons. However, they still haven't done it yet. There's a possibility that buff might be in next patch, but we have no clue what they might be buffing it to. So, yeah, it might be worth getting just to have, because it's almost 100% being buffed. All 6 of the HP buff weapons are going to be buffed. They're still going to be similar, that they're likely going to be some kind of HP buff, but they're going to be way better than they are currently. When that's happening, we don't know. I feel like next patch could be when it happens, but we have no definitive knowledge on when it will. But hopefully soonish, because all those HP buff ones are really useless. And that one is no different, at least in the current state of the game. They made it the flash offer too. I believe the flash offer is random. Flash offer is based on, I'm almost guaranteed the flash offer that you see for a $5 weapon underneath flash offer is based on a random weapon you do not own. And that could be different for anyone. I've actually never seen a single one of them, so I have no clue what it's like. But because I own every weapon in the game. But it only shows a weapon that you don't own. So it's different for everyone. What ends up showing there. The $5 one in the shop is always going to be the same for everyone. Which is why you still saw me see the Staff of Madness even though I already own it. But the $5 one is always based on a weapon that you... The $5 one that's under flash offer is always based on a random weapon you do not own. And do keep in mind the $5 ones that are off of flash offer are not necessarily $5 exclusive weapons. They could be. You'd need to go double check. But more often than not, they're likely not going to be. So do be mindful of that. Because quite a few of them are obtainable through through other means. Like that Doom Cauldron you can get within Soulforge. Among many other. There's only, I believe, about 32 or so weapons that are only ever available for $5 only, no other method. And they're the ones specifically in the shop, not the flash offer. Okay, we'll go for Dragon Soul. And then we Aquaticus kill it. And he's dead. Or not, because it just hit in a really weird way. But at least we get more souls out of it, if nothing else. Free soul farming. I'll take it. Yes, you can now 10-star Karkaroff. It's actually 13-starable. It's pretty relevant this week, because that's one whole extra magic that we now have forever. But yes, it is possible to 13-star Karkaroff. Or 10-star plus it, yes. It means +1 magic, which is extremely relevant. It does require owning Zugaf or Vashtagan, though. Which means you need to go get Vashtagan because Zugaf is ridiculously hard to get. Though it does count if you happen to have that instead of Vashtagan. So I'm pretty sure most people are missing the Zugaf, not the Vashtagan. They're going to be missing only one of them. That'd actually be kind of funny if someone owns a Zugaf but not Vashtagan. I'm pretty sure there's some small amount of people who are in that situation. But most people are in the inverse situation. Karakoff? Is that really how you say Karkaroff? I'm pretty sure it's Karkaroff. Karakoff? Karakoff. That doesn't sound right. I say it kind of like how you would say like Ziggurat. Karkaroff. That's probably why I pronounce it the way I do. I pronounce it like Warcraft Ziggurat as Karkaroff. Unless I'm pronouncing that one wrong too. Who knows? Probably. Karakoff? That sounds even more incorrect. I'm probably just adding letters that aren't there. Tacet pronunciation stream. I don't know, what else do you guys want me to butcher? There's no way. That is definitely Karkaroff. Let me see. Okay, it's Karakoff. Okay, I see. I guess it actually is Karakoff. Karkaroff sounds so much cooler, though. It is Karakoff. Karkaroff. Oh no, I want to say it so many different ways now. Yeah, it actually is Karakoff. I never actually realized that. I'm like adding a letter somewheres in it. It is Karakoff. I'm still gonna say Karkaroff. Anyways, before I forget, let me go to this pet real quick. Oh, we're already in this menu. Sure, we'll run the Doom scheme with it. Why not? Well, it looks like Karakoff is what it visually looks like. Visually looking at it sometimes doesn't help, though. I definitely add letters that aren't there from many words. Let's see, I'll move that over. What do I take here? Guess we'll go Skull. And then we have our alignment thingy for that. You're getting Corsair flashbacks? What? Corsair? Corsair. Corsair? Well, there's several ways that you can pronounce the accent on the seer part. Corsair? Corsair. Like, if you put an accent on it, I'm pretty sure it's Corsair. Except I don't do the accent fully because I'm horrible at that accent. Where you, like, roll your R's. But it's like Corsair. 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 Or something like that. Corsair. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I just don't roll the R correctly. Hello, Little Sobo. Welcome. Would you get seals when doing kingdom quests early in the game? Everything gives seals. Like, you get 1,500 seals potentially per week off of just doing various stuff like playing battles, doing treasure maps, doing pretty much anything within the game. Gives you seals. to 1,500 per week. There's a few other ways that you can get above that 1,500 per week. But for the most part, you get 1,500 seals per week. We Googled it earlier and it sounded like I was correct. Like, I was pronouncing... We did that on stream before, where I was pronouncing the pronunciation that Google gave, and people were still saying I was doing it wrong, even though I was literally just copying the thing that Google was saying. Do I have a video for all different delves and how to complete them? We've individually gone over every single delve. However, I don't have one video that goes over all of them, otherwise that'd be like a 3-4 hour video. But I have been meaning to separate some videos up soon that will go over everything related to delves except by typing. Like, for example, all the teams for Pure Faction, all the teams for Progression to 500, all the teams for low level, stuff like that. But I've individually covered all the info on every single faction. So if you just go and type in like Gems of War and then type in the name of the faction onto my channel, or even just in YouTube in general, would probably bring it up. But if you do that on the channel, it should bring up the video that you're looking for. Some of them might be slightly old meta teams, just because obviously a faction that came out like months ago would have been months ago meta. So, but for the most part, it's still pretty consistent to what you would use today for most of them. Yeah, we've covered it for every single faction. The only one we haven't really covered it for, I believe, is Warrens, oddly enough. Maybe I might need to cover it individually soon, or just do a bulk covering of it. But because the reason we haven't done Warrens yet is because we never finished out Warrens. We're not finishing out Warrens until tomorrow, actually, oddly enough, because we've been farming it for so long. But tomorrow's finally going to be the day we 500 complete it. Look at that chain. There we go. What's your alignment again? Brown. And that's match. Super dead. Always fun seeing that chain combo. Probably one of the visually most interesting kind of things that you can do to the board is like a Raph Possess King combo. Because it constantly keeps clearing out the board over and over again once it gets rolling. I'll let him poke. Grab all that mess. If we have brown alignment, grab the other one. The other one. Take the other one. And he's dead. There we go. What's the best delve team to farm shards? It depends what delve you're doing. So the best is City of Thieves. City of Thieves with any kind of quick kill for that kingdom. I forget what the coloration is there off the top of my head. But running City of Thieves with a quick kill team at level 20 is the best loot that you can get for that. At least in a quick manner. I'm going to go for it. Why not? I should give him the mana that he needs off Explosion. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Oh, I was hoping that would go all the way. That would have been funny. And I think he's dead. There we go. Grab all of our rewards. Hopefully get some pet foods. Obviously. But I don't really want amethysts there. On all the pet foods. But yeah, let me go double check the color. What is City of Thieves color? I forgot off the top of my head. City of Thieves is the coloration of blue and purple. So you could run a Dragon Soul team with a bunch of dragons. Would probably be one of your best bets if you want to farm some souls while doing it. Actually, I didn't even think about that. You can soul farm... Wow, this delve is overpowered. You can soul farm level 20 City of Thieves with Dragon Soul. You can use Dragon Soul... you could use the normal Necromancy teams. You could use Dragon Soul, Azurus, Umberwolf. You can use Dragon Soul, Fair-Shra, Umberwolf. You can use Dragon Soul, Necromancy of any kind with a hero with Purple Storm. You could use Dragon Soul with a Fair-Shra, Necromancy, and a hero with Purple Storm and stuff like that. Like, all those combinations actually work for this delve. I never realized that. And at level 20, you would actually be able to quick kill it with Dragon Soul. It only take like 3 casts at most for most of the battles. So, wow, this delve is broken for loot. But yeah, City of Thieves is amazing. Hey, you can just run soul farming with Dragon Soul. Or if you want to go a bit quicker, just use like Mountain Crusher with Dragon Soul and you still get to farm souls while also going quicker. Yeah, Phylacracy is also good for soul farming. Basically, you could get... I'm waiting until Phylacracy finally has enough magic that you can one-turn full souls. For it to be able to do that, you need to have Phylacracy give 36 souls. But I believe it's currently only at the... Phylacracy. But yeah, it needs to do 36 for it to be able to be viable as a really quick soul option. Because that way you would only need to cast it once. And we're getting to the point where it is reaching that. Let's see, how much magic does it currently have? You can tell by going into the weapon. Or into the class, actually. We're getting extra for blue. Oh, that is with extra. I was hoping that wasn't with the extra. So we need another 6 magic to be added to the game in order to reach max capacity of souls with 1 Phylacracy cast. Oh, wait, does this give 4 souls on top? Never mind. Might need that. Not need that. What am I looking for? Not that. I'm looking for class. No, I'm looking for weapon. It does. Never mind. Oh, we only need 2 more magic until Phylacracy has enough to reach max. And technically, you can already reach max if your hero class has a artifact bonus thing. But I don't think you can half mana and artifact bonus. There might be a hero class that has that combo. Also having purple or blue magic gain. I believe Necromancer might actually even have that. Plus you'd gain souls on top of that, so that would kind of defeat the point. But, yeah, it gains 34 souls right now. If you have absolute max in the game, it gains 34 souls per cast. And you get 4 kills automatically per battle, meaning 38 out of 40. So it's only too short in that situation. If we get 2 more magic, it's max. So it's already close enough to max that it's pretty much probably usable for that. Yeah, Phylacracy is pretty good in that regard. Has the highest soul gain of any weapon. If you were going down the weapon route rather than the than any other method. The only real big issue with Phylacracy is it doesn't speed up the rate of the battle at all. It just gives you souls and a heal, which doesn't really help you win quicker. It just helps you win and get a bunch of souls. Anyways, let's keep continuing with invasions. Still got a ways to go. Keep getting these down. Get at least to the 3 towers if nothing else. Too bad you can't unlock the underworld without completing out the entire game. Well, there's still a lot of stuff you can do within the underworld, even at a lower level. And you can complete through all of Delves just with Mang. It's not really time efficient to do so, but it is technically possible. The entirety of all Delves can be soloed with Mang Titan, with any 3 troops. Ideally good troops, but you know, you can theoretically solo the entirety of it just with Titan Mang. You might have a bit of a lower win rate. You might end up just completely losing out some delves. But it is technically possible to go and win all the way, every single delve with that team. Or with just Mang, I mean. Mang Titan. The barrier and everything, with all of its immunity. It'll take like 3 to 4 times as long and you'll have a higher lose rate. But it is technically possible. And Mang can get pretty early. You'll have it at like around the level 100-ish range. You don't really worry about delves until later in the game though. Just because they're not really worth it until later in the game. The only reason you really do them early on is just to farm them for some shards at lower level ranges. And the reason you still farm them for shards is you need all the troops from the portals. And you need those legendary and mythic ingots to get some of the better weapons upgraded. I almost keep forgetting that's even a factor in the game. Similar to how trait stones are a thing that I almost keep forgetting even exist because they're somewhat irrelevant. Oops, I almost just said something about next patch. Whoops! I didn't though. I came close. I came very close. I came very, very close. And no, it's not a trait stone sync. I wish it was. It's something else related to them. It's beneficial to newer players, as well as all players, really. I guess I could somewhat mention it. I'm not mentioning like the entire thing, but I will mention this of it. They are adding something next patch that will reduce the RNG of getting arcane trait stones. What that is, I won't say, because that would give away the whole thing. But they are adding something next patch that will reduce the RNG of getting arcane trait stones. So if any of you have ever gone 2 hours before without getting an arcane trait stone, which I know some people have, that will no longer be possible. It is impossible as of next patch with a specific method that's going to be added. Let's see. That's all I'll say. Let's see. Is that over? Grab a... Well, we'll have a billion spoilers next Friday night. Or actually, technically Tuesday. Well, Salty will be going over it. Sorry, why did I say Friday? I meant next Monday night. While Salty's going to be going over our next Monday night, I'll be going over it next week's Tuesday. Is it a pity timer? Yes and no. And that's all I'll say, because if I say more than that, I'll say what it is. But, yes and no. It's spoilery. Not that spoilery. I didn't say what it was. It's not a pity timer. Though some people might view it as theoretically the effect of such, but it's not a pity timer. At least not directly, it isn't. You'll see what I mean once it comes out. I'll go for that. And it was kill it. Minor trait stones are hardest to keep in stock. If you're low on minor trait stones, throw a bunch of gold at gold keys. While that does make it so your guild gets a little bit less legendary tasks, if you're really low on minor trait stones, it is worth considering. I know I did at some point. Another way to stock up is spend your glory on packs, on the glory packs each week, specifically on arcanes that you need. You get a bunch of minor trait stones while doing so. And actually, that's the only way in the entire game to convert your glory into minor trait stones, is by buying the weekly event troop. This week is useless though, the event troop. The arcane's not too bad on it though, red purple, but the troop itself is useless. So you get 4 purple every single time you do that, I believe, this week. It's either 4 purple or 4 red. I'm pretty sure it's purple. Which means you're basically buying minor trait stones for 75 glory each. That seems pricey, but obviously you're getting a billion other drops as well from it. But as if you're just counting the minor trait stones, they cost 75 glory each or so. But you're also getting the troop, you're getting the arcane, you're getting the 2 glory keys, the 10 gold keys, and all the other stuff on top. And the gold. Did I just spoil the entire patch? No. I'm pretty sure I did. Did I? There's one feature I could say that would spoil the entire patch, but I've never said it yet, what that is. And that's like the entirety of what the patch is for the most part, because it's all centered around it. They've made mention of it somewhat in the past, however, they never really directly mentioned it. Or, you know, they never really, like, went full depth on it. Kind of like I haven't on it yet. Yeah, Salty accidentally showed those 3 diamond things at the top. That is a new feature for something. Is there a Doom Skull build for early game players? No, for the most part. Unless you just happen to have a Doom weapon. Unless you happen to have picked up one of the 6 color Doom weapons, there's probably no viable Doom Skull related team that is for early game. It normally requires Glaceon or Bloodhammer or something similar to really be able to crate. There are very few Doom Skull crating troops. Almost all of them are higher rarity. I said too much about the TS? The trait stones? Did I? I don't think I did. I never mentioned the method. Oh, what do we take here? Grab that for now. Pretty sure no one would actually guess what the format is. Hey, you think so? Oh, they've mentioned in the past that they were going to do something similar to it. Because they know how much frustration people have with grinding for hours and not getting something. And while they've stated they would never do it for things like keys, they have mentioned that they would consider it for things like ingots and for, which they ended up doing with, they ended up mentioning it for ingots, in which they ended up doing it with Underworld. And then they also mentioned it for trait stones, which are going to be doing it for this. They never said when it was coming. But they have made mention of it in the past. The only thing they don't like putting, like, pity timers on, and neither of them are pity timers, though they theoretically could be considered it. Like, for example, the mythic ingots and legendary ingots on delves. They're not pity timers, but, you know, you can go and do them and get this physical resource. So in a way, they kind of are, while also kind of not being. And that's kind of what the new format is, too, for Arcanes. All they're really doing is just doing a same format for that and just applying it to a different resource. At least in a way. We'll go for that and just kill it then. Why am I doing the first question with Guild Wars? What was your question? I forgot what it was at this point, to be honest. I think it was something about checking recruitment for whatever reason. Or like the little thing that tells you if you've signed up or not. Also, let me go hand out a code. I still haven't yet. We just hit past 100 viewers. Pull salty and give out a code at 100 viewers. Yeah, let me go get out a code. Second, I just finish this battle. Then I'll go do whatever Supplement was asking. Also, speaking of that, if anyone's still interested in joining the guild, we have plenty of space. Let me know. Okay, guild. Still have 8 spots left. Best tips and tricks when starting off. Best things that you want to focus on is make sure you do. You mainly want to focus on identifying what all the dailies are within the game, and then doing them. This includes adventure board, which ends up clearing out every single day. Very, very good to always do. Dungeons. These are where you accumulate all of your diamonds for the most part. Whenever you see a pet from your guild or from PvP, this is once every hour and on Wednesdays. Those are good just to start accumulating a bunch of pets for bonuses. The various events in general that are here, you generally want to do, like if faction's going, you want to do factions. If class event is going, you want to do classes. At least the free battles. You don't generally want to put gems into it as a newer player. However, doing the free battles you do want to generally do as a newer player. Other than that, delves. You do generally want to farm 3 delves per day. City of Thieves at level 20 is the best way to go for it as a newer player. So just do that and farm City of Thieves forever, at least initially. And don't go beyond level 20 ever. Because it's really important to keep City of Thieves at 20 in the current state of the game, especially as a newer player. Other than that, make sure to do 1.9k PvP every single week. This gives you a bunch of various keys, which will help you get a bunch of troops, as well as several other resources. Where's the thingy for it? Yeah, right over here. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Oh, wait, never mind, that was the right one. You get 46 glory keys and a few other resources here and there, as well as some ingots, which are a little bit hard to get earlier on in the game, because you might not be able to do that many factions yet. And other than that, if you're in a guild, definitely get into a guild. Try to find yourself a decent guild. At least initially, just try to find yourself any full guild that's active. and try doing 1.5k seals every single week. There's a cap of 1,500. There are a few ways to get it higher than that. However, generally you're going to be getting about 1,500 per week cap, and doing any of those things will give you progress towards that. Generally, doing almost anything in the game will give progress towards it to some degree. And you just get a bunch of seals that way, which are used basically as the equivalent of keys. And that's basically the main things you want to focus on. And as far as kingdoms, you do want to start completing out all the quest lines. Quest lines are pretty important in the current state of the game. Some of the first ones that you probably want to go for Stormheim, so you go get Titan Hero class, Pan's Veil for Elwyn, Forest of Thorns for Owain, Merlantis for Azura, and a few other ones here and there. Also, all the ones that are required for certain unlocks. They made a whole list on that earlier, though. In the current state of the game, you pretty much just want to complete out every single quest as soon as possible. It used to be the other way around, where you almost didn't want to do any of the quests until later in the game. But in the current state of the game, you do generally want to be questing like almost completely every single quest line in the game, because there's quite a few unlocks for later. Anyways, let me go 2%. The reason this number is so big is we're missing 8 people the entire week. So 8 people, that's about 1/3 the guild, which makes sense. Which is why we're missing about 32%. And the reason why it says +2 is because we were bracket 3 earlier, and then we moved up to bracket 2. So at minimum, we would have run up some amount of rankings because of that. But next week it'll go down, obviously. But yeah, that's what that looks like. It looks a little bit weird right now just because we had a smaller guild. Why some of those numbers are way out of proportion. Like normally you would not have a 32% decrease in points. That would be like an absurd loss if you ended up losing that many points. Like anything above 10% is like absurdly high to lose compared to your previous week. You'd have to lose a lot for that to happen. And even we lost a decent amount and still didn't even have it happen. Anyways, what am I doing right now? I need to go do adventure board. So while we're here, let me go and clear this out just with some quick kills. Yeah, mine is 8%. Well, we did move up to bracket 2 from bracket 3. So people have stronger defense and they use different defense than what I'm used to for the most part. We're also testing around a bunch of teams, which is why I went down a little bit. I wasn't taking last week's Guild War that seriously because it didn't matter how many points we made. We still would have moved down. Like, we could have done 0 points or made, like, 100,000 points, and it wouldn't have made a difference. Actually, 100,000 is literally impossible. But it wouldn't have made a difference either way due to how many people we were missing from the guild. I'm not sure what you're asking by that. We're related to the kingdoms. You can't rush kingdoms anymore? You can't? Aren't they level locked? Wait, did they unlevel lock them? You can still rush kingdoms, can't you? Pretty sure you can. In the sense that you unlock the ones near the start and you keep expanding outwards. Like, you can't rush as much as you did before because they're not level locked anymore. They're regionally locked. So you have to do like a few in one area, then move forward, and then move forward and forward and forward. But still, the strategy in the current state of the game is to do every single quest line as quickly as possible because that would unlock the whole map. Yeah, rushing in the sense of how it used to be before does not exist. That is correct. Like, you can't just go directly from Broken Spire to Stormheim anymore. You'll have to do a few more quests into that to be able to do that. Like before, you could go not even complete out not even complete out Broken Spire, then go all the way straight to Stormheim. But I don't believe that's possible anymore. Though you can still do similar. You could do Broken Spire and like 2 other quest lines, and I believe still get to Stormheim or something similar. Yeah, the requirements to get around the map has changed slightly in the most recent patch. And I'm not actually sure 100% how it actually interacts because I've never made a new account since then. I've made like a dozen new accounts, however, I have yet to do one since they made that format change. We'd have to play a new account for like 10 hours to reach that point, though. Like 10 to 15 hours why I haven't bothered. That's way too much time to put into a new account that I don't intend on playing. So then again, I almost have that much time on this current beta version. So, maybe I shouldn't say. But, yeah, the beta was fun. Probably one of the funnest betas we've had in a while. I am so hyped for next patch. What's horrible, though, is I'm going to be gone when next patch comes out. Next patch is likely midway through or later in October. No official date yet. But it's likely midway to late October. And I'm going to be gone midway through late October. Like, the whole entire time frame that this patch is probably going to come out, I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be gone from about the 13th to the 26th or so. Give or take a day or two. Or, you know, as far as, like, the full frame. It might even be as much as from the 12th to the 28th. Like, that's the max. Shortest would be is, like, 13th to 26th, I think. I'm not sure. It's somewhere in that general time frame. Regardless, it's like 2 weeks in the middle of October. The two most likely weeks that the patch is likely to come out. I will not be around, unfortunately. I'll still have videos pre-recorded and stuff. I asked Salty already. He said I could pre-record stuff on 4.6 and just post it after 4.6 is launched. So that's nice. It's weird because I asked her about a year ago, and she said no to that exact same question. Yet I asked her like a week ago, and she said yes. So I was really confused by that. I figured I asked again in case like something changed, and apparently it did. I'm not sure what, but I don't understand that at all. Like she said no initially, like months ago, but then said yes. Strange. Anyways, I need to retreat from this battle. Why am I still using this against that? That is not what we're supposed to use. Let me go use key team. KZL needs 9 quest lines? That is an absurd amount of quest lines. So even more reason to go do all quests as a newer player then. Yeah, you just have to go from one kingdom to the next completing out the quest line. That doesn't take too long. It takes about 30 minutes as a newer player per quest line. Maybe up to an hour if you have really bad options. Actually, still, if you don't have any troop options. But you can get it done within a week. You can get every single quest line in the entire game done in about a week or two. Even when starting out from a fresh, brand new account. You can easily get it done within a month, even if you don't have as much time. Even if you only have like an hour per day to play, you could get it done in a month. You just play for 1 hour every single day, doing quest lines. You'd get every quest line in the game completed, most likely. Or really, really, really close to completed. Okay, next. What else do we still have? Oh, so we did that, we did that, we did that. I guess just dungeons. We did the pet, right? Double check. Yep, we did. All right, let's just do dungeons then. And I handed out the code, right? No, I didn't. I didn't hand out a code. I was talking as if I was going to give one out, and then completely forgot to give one out. Wow, my short-term memory. I have the shortest of short-term memory. There we go. Copy. There you guys go. There's the code. Use it on gemsofwar.com or the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over there. Redeem code's right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters. And it gives the same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. As always. And enjoy. Works on PC mobile version of the game. Hey, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, after we finish out the dungeons, we'll probably wrap up for the night. I'll go post Salty's stream afterwards as well, since Salty's probably going to be going over the new layout for the Delve on Friday, as well as the new Mythic. So she'll be going over that in about 10 minutes, actually. 10, 20 minutes or so, whenever her stream ends up starting. But, yeah, let me go do dungeons real quick, and then we'll just wrap up for today. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Around then. Actually, no, we'll be back tomorrow around a little after noon, because we're going to be streaming delves. Lots of delves. Like, lots and lots of delves. I'm doing all of I'm doing all of Warren's tomorrow. Like, literally all of it. We're going all the way from 20 to pure faction 500 completion. So that's going to take a while. So we'll be doing that. We'll be skipping through quite a few of them, though. We'll probably do all the rooms initially, up to about 200 or so. And then we're just going to start skipping because it's going to take way too long. But I know for sure we're going to do it that way. We're at some point going to start skipping just because it's going to become way too tedious. But yeah, we will be doing that tomorrow. And of course, new faction this Friday that will also be doing it too. Our gem stack will take a bit of a hit, that's fine. We'll have over 24,000 gems. And who knows, maybe we'll make big enough on the leaderboard that it won't really hurt us that bad. There's a good chance we'll make top 10 on leaderboard. And while that doesn't repair a lot of our gems, it does repair some of them at least, if nothing else. Right for Skyred, didn't get it. Let's grab that, let's get another destroy. What should you run lower account on Delve tomorrow? The lower level team is Warren's. So you can get away with Skeleton Key. I'm not sure if you consider that extremely low level. Not sure if you have Cedric. But Cedric Sparkle Sack, Egg Thief, Skeleton Key, and Greed ends up working out pretty well. If you don't have that as an option, their color restrictions are green and yellow. So you can end up using a green seer into a bunch of green troops. Use a yellow troop that can feed into greens. Doing something like that could be good if you have a web spinner and you could just infinitely kill with that. Excuse me. You could use Gob Truffle and kill with that. There's a couple different options out there, depending on what you have. Let's see. Take that for now. Grab that, get her destroy. Yeah, any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, I'll probably wrap up for today and have a busy day tomorrow. I'll be busy in the morning, but after I situate all that, we'll be streaming pretty much all day. Not literally all day, but the plan is to start a little afternoon. Start streaming Warrens, get very, very far, probably not fully completed, then take a little bit of a break, come back at our normal time around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night, and then finish out Delves, doing Pure Faction and doing Warrens to full completion. That's pretty much the game plan tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's the game plan currently. Anyways, guys, I'll catch all of you later. Thank you so much for stopping by. 1 second before I go, let me just get Salty's link real quick. Also, Salty's community manager of Gems of War, by the way. I keep like mentioning her name, but like not mentioning who she is. But she streams Gems of War every Friday. I mean every Monday. Sorry. Also, wait, what? Oh, Twitch looks different. That's weird. They changed the layout of Twitch slightly. Like never use Twitch, so that like never phases me. But here you guys go. Here's the link to Twitch for Salty. She'll be going over the new Mythic coming out this Friday, as well as the new faction this Friday. Obviously, I won't be able to go over it until Friday, but she'll be going over it right now. Going over, just showing the troops. So if you want to go catch that, she'll be doing that. What do we have Warrens at right now? Warrens is around 400, I believe. I didn't get it all the way to 500. Yeah, it's at 360 right now. I could do it to 400 by tonight. Because that's 370, then 380, then 390, then 400. I could get to 400 by the end of tonight. Not sure if I'm going to do those Delve battles because I still need to go record that other video and then sleep. But if I have time, I'll probably. But if I don't, then I'll just leave them there. It's not that big a deal. I miss a few of them. But we're going to be doing all of them tomorrow anyways. So. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. And I will catch you all later. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, why did I do it so far if I'm going to be doing it to 500 anyways? Because as you progress through them, you get a 2x multiplier. And while these rooms take a little bit longer than doing, like, you know, a normal delve at a lower level, it is giving a 2x multiplier rather than a 1x multiplier. And this 2x multiplier can only ever be obtained once when you're going through your normal delves. However, it can always be reobtained when you're going through the delves on a event. So, for example, a Tuesday or a Friday event that has a delve event, you will always be able to get 2x multiplier. However, if you, let's say, have a kingdom, and that kingdom is at level 20, and you then go and do the entirety of delves through a faction event to 500, you will lose the opportunity to do all of the 2x up to that point, which is generally how we do newer delves. However, if you really wanted to optimize your loot like as much as possible, you would actually go and initially do the delve normally using your daily 3 delves for 2x multiplier every single time, and then you would come back and buy it out all the way to full. This is generally not viable just because it would be really tedious doing it that way, and you wouldn't be able to do it directly when it comes out, newer factions. However, since it was a faction that we already had, that was already released, it kind of worked out for us being able to 2 times multiplier it twice. So we did a 2 times multiplier up to this point, and then we get to 2 times multiplier it again when we do it for the event. That's the whole reason why we did that. It basically just allows us to gain slightly more loot. Then what are you doing to farm? Farm what? We're doing this just to get more shards, because this affects the amount of shards that you get from the chest at the end of the battle. It also affects all the loot that you get from every single room as well. But the main reason we're doing it is because that increases the amount of shards you get by a whole multiplier of 1 times. So that's pretty big, because it's almost like a 25% increase compared to how many shards we would normally be getting compared to a 1 times multiplier. That's basically what we're doing there. Then what am I doing to farm? We're probably not going to be farming delves anymore. That's one of the reasons why I did it this way. I'm not going to be farming any delve at any level, at least currently. My game plan is to start doing every single faction to 2,500. I'm going to probably start attempting Hall of Guardians at 200 without potions and stuff like that. That's what I'm going to be using my daily delves for. That, or we could just do level 500s without any effects. Might take a little bit longer, but Iron Gut can just devour spam rooms, so we can still end up getting them done. So it's not going to be too big a deal. There's still ways around it, but yeah, we're just going to have all of them upgraded after that point. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you all later. Goodbye, everyone!